Who is this?
This is Ed's sister.
1.
What is that?
That's a fox.
2.
What are those?
Those are apricots.
3. Who is that?
That is Emma's friend.
4.
Who are they?
They're my cousins.
5.
What is this?
It's a clarinet.
Listen and check.
Who is your favourite teacher?
1.
What is your mum's name?
2.
Who is your best friend?
3.
What do you eat for breakfast?
4.
What have you got in your bag?
5.
Who do you travel to school with?
Listen and write the names.
Which is Jane's phone?
The blue one.
Which is Brian's jacket?
The brown one.
Which is Claire's phone?
The pink one.
Which is Charlie's jacket?
The black one.
Which is Gemma's jacket?
The green one.
Which is James's phone?
The red one.
Listen and check.
Where are my shoes?
1.
Where is the station?
2.
How old are you?
3.
Where do you live?
4.
Where are you going?
5.
How do you spell your name?
6.
How old is your brother?
7.
Where would you like to go?
8.
Where can I buy a pen?
Listen and check.
Welcome to your new school. I've got a few questions.
OK.
First, what's your surname?
Morewood.
How do you spell that?
Morwood.
Thanks. What's your first name?
Louise.
How old are you, Louise?
I'm 12.
Where do you live?
26 Elm Road.
What's your phone number?
02782 672541.
How do you travel to school?
I take the bus.
What class are you in?
I'm in 7E3.
Who's your class teacher?
Mrs. Evans.
Thank you, Louise. That's everything.
One.
Hi, I'm Joe. What's your name? Hi, Joe. I'm Harry.
2.
Which class are you in? Class 3.
3.
Whose class is this?
It's Mr. Black's.
4.
Who's your favourite actor?
Rupert Grint.
1.
What's the weather like?
It's raining.
2.
What's John like?
He's very nice.
3.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm fine.
4.
What's the time?
6 o'clock.
5.
What about having lunch now?
Good idea.
Are you okay, Sam?
What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm okay, thanks.
1.
What's the weather like in London at the moment?
The sun's shining.
2.
What's the time, Jenny?
It's 9:30. Hurry up.
3.
What's the matter? Is there a problem?
Well, yes. I'm hungry.
4.
What's Maya like?
Maya? She's very friendly. I like her.
5.
What about watching a film?
Yes. Let's do that.
6.
What's the weather like?
Terrible. It's cold and wet.
1.
Where's your bag?
It's under the desk.
2.
Why do you study English?
Because I like it.
3.
When's your birthday?
April the 13th.
4.
How do you go to school?
By bus.
1.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Very well. And you?
2.
How old are you?
I'm 13.
3.
How do you spell your name?
ANNA BROWN.
4.
How about playing a game of cards? Good idea.
No thanks.
How old are you, Kate?
I'm 12.
1.
How do you spell your surname, Harry?
WATSON. Watson.
2.
How old is your brother? He's 6.
3.
How about a drink? Yes, please. Can I have a cup of tea?
4.
How about going to the cinema?
Yes, OK. Let's go.
5.
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
When do you get up?
I get up at 7.
1.
How do you spell your name?
My name? Josh.
2.
Why are you hungry?
I'm hungry because I didn't have any breakfast.
3.
How old is Anna?
Anna? She's 13.
4.
What time do the shops close?
The shops close at 5:30.
5.
Where do you do your homework?
I do my homework in my bedroom.
6.
How about watching a DVD?
Good idea. Which DVD do you want to watch?
Why is the sky up above blue? How high are the clouds? Where do the birds fly away to? Questions for me and for you. Who knows all the answers? I don't know. Answers. I don't know. Do you? Why is the grass in the fields green? How deep is the sea? Where do we go when we're sleeping? Questions for you and for me. Who knows all the answers? I don't know. Do you? Who knows all the answers? I don't know. Knows all the answers. I don't know. Do you? Who knows all the answers? I don't know. Do you?
How much money have you got?
Not much. Sorry.
1. How much cheese is in the fridge?
A lot.
2.
How many people were at the concert?
Not many.
3.
How much ice cream is there?
Not much.
4.
How many photos did you take?
10.
5.
How many books are in your bag?
Lots.
6.
How much are the pens?
They're £3.50.
7.
How much sugar have we got?
None.
8.
How many girls are in your class?
12.
9.
How much is this book?
£5.50.
10.
How many apples are there?
None.
1.
How many men are skating?
2.
How many small boys are skating?
3.
How much is the soup?
4.
How much soup is there?
5.
How many signs are there?
6.
How many people are wearing hats in the picture?
7.
How many people are eating burgers?
8.
How many people are selling food?
1.
How many men are skating?
4.
2.
How many small boys are skating?
2.
3.
How much is the soup?
£2.
4.
How much soup is there?
A lot.
5.
How many signs are there?
3.
6.
How many people are wearing hats in the picture?
10.
7.
How many people are eating burgers?
2.
8.
How many people are selling food?
2.
Who makes you laugh? Who do you live with? What did you do yesterday?
I went fishing at the lake.
How long did you stay there?
About 45 minutes.
How many fish did you catch?
Just one.
How big was it?
About 50 or 60 centimetres, like this.
What kind of fish was it?
I'm not sure.
What colour was it?
Grey.
How heavy was it?
About 1 kilo.
What did you do with it?
I put it back in the water.
How do you get to school?
1.
When was the match?
2.
How are you?
3.
Where did you rent bikes?
4.
What is his favourite colour?
5.
Why is he laughing?
6.
When are they going on holiday?
7.
Who did you meet at the cafe?
8.
How do you spell autumn?
9.
Where have you been?
10.
When does Yasmin start her new job?
What insects are you afraid of?
1.
Who do you go to school with?
2.
What music do you listen to?
3.
Who do you have lunch with?
4.
What sports are you interested in?
5.
Who do you send text messages to?
6.
What do you dream about?
7.
Who do you sit next to?
Whose umbrella is this?
1.
Whose is that book?
2.
Who's the best basketball player in your class?
3.
Who's that in the green coat?
4.
Whose idea was this?
How long have you lived here?
1.
How often do you clean your teeth?
2.
How much did your watch cost?
3.
How long does it take to get from London to Beijing by plane?
4.
How much does an elephant weigh?
5.
How long is a year?
6.
How often have you been to concerts?
7.
How long does your phone battery last?
8.
How often does the moon go round the earth?
9.
How much coffee do you drink?
10.
How often are the Olympic Games?
What is your earliest memory?
Sitting in a high chair in my parents' kitchen.
How long have you known your best friend?
For 20 years. We met at school.
Who is your hero?
Meryl Streep. I think she's simply the best film actress ever.
Where would you most like to live?
In Paris. There's so much history, so many great buildings, and the best food in the world.
How many pets have you had?
I've never had any. I'm allergic to most animals.
When were you happiest? Why?
Last week, because I was with my family.
What was your most embarrassing moment?
I was talking to a journalist about my latest film and I couldn't remember the name of the director.
How often do you eat chocolate?
Every day, if possible.
What is your favourite word?
Friendship.
How do you relax?
By going to the gym, or by eating chocolate.
I wonder if we've got the same answers, Frank. Question 1. How many friends do you need? 50? I know you're very sociable.
Well, 50 is too many, I think. But I need a lot of friends because I like doing different things with different people. 15 is a good number, I think.
My answer's different. I only need a couple of good friends. And that includes you, of course.
Good. What about question 2? Sleep. How much sleep do you need, Alison?
About 6 or 7 hours sleep a night.
Oh, That isn't enough for me. I need a lot of sleep, about 8 hours. I sometimes sleep for 9 or 10 hours at the weekend.
10 hours? That's too much.
Well, I need it. Question 3. Time alone, but not asleep. That's not important to me. I don't need much of that.
Oh, I need a lot. About 2 hours a day? I get tired if I'm with people all the time. Finally, chocolate.
Oh, you might find it hard to believe, but I actually don't like chocolate. I don't eat any.
Really?
Yes. Why? Did you choose too much? I must try to stop?
No, I don't eat too much chocolate, but I do eat a bit every day.
So, none of our answers was the same.
No, not one.
One. What's her name? Where does she live? How old is she? 2. Who does it belong to? How old is it? How fast can it go? 3. Whose is it? What's inside it? Where did you find it? 4. How did that happen? Who did that? How are we going to fix it? 5. Where did they play? Who won? Who scored the first goal? 6. Which ocean is it in? Where's the airport? What's the climate like? Where does she live? Who does it belong to? How old is it? Whose is it? How did that happen? What's the climate like?
How often do you phone your friend?
1.
Where are you going?
2.
What are you wearing that hat for?
3.
Whose bag is that?
4.
What was the film like?
5.
What's your bed made of?
6.
How far is it to the farm from here?
So, this is the quiz where you write the questions. Here's an example. Look at the seas and oceans part of the quiz. The first answer is 55 meters. Now, which sea is 55 meters deep or wide? Think about it. 55 meters isn't very much. Well, the correct question is, how deep is the Baltic Sea? Now, look at the rest of the quiz and try to make the correct questions. Don't worry if you don't know. You'll win points for lucky guesses. Okay, everyone. Here are the correct questions. Or do I mean the answers? Number 1. 165.2 million square kilometers. That's very big. The correct question is, how big is the Pacific Ocean? Did you get that right? Number 2. This is a question about the Nile. It's where does the Nile begin? Number 3. About 6,498 kilometres. The question for that is, how long is the Yangtze? Number 4. We're on to mountains and lakes now, and we're thinking about Ecuador in South America. The correct question is, where is Cotopaxi? Cotopaxi is a mountain, and it's also a volcano. Did you know that? Number 5. I'm sure you got this one correct. It's how high is Mount Everest? Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world. Number 6. The first of 3 questions about planets. The red planet. Have you heard of that? Yes, it's Mars, of course. And the question is, what do people, or some people, call Mars? Number 7. 460 degrees centigrade. Wow, that's hot. The correct question is, how hot is it on Venus? Number 8. Not so many planets to choose from now. This is a question about distance. And the question is, how far is Neptune from Earth? On to cities now, and question number 9. This question is, where is Caracas? The last question, number 10. 3,640 metres above sea level. That is information about La Paz in Bolivia. The question is, how high is La Paz? And at 3,640 metres above sea level, La Paz is the highest capital city in the world.
Has it got 6 legs? Can you and your sister swim? Does Carla know Alex? Am I right? Will it be okay? Is Leo coming?